I think my dad has been looking for her since he was a young child, since he left her pretty much. I know when he graduated from high school in Pennsylvania, he drove out west to Oregon, and he had contact with his Granny Grizzle, who was, I believe, a maternal grandmother or great-grandmother, his maternal grandmother or great-grandmother. But he talked to her for a while. His mom didn't want to see him. His mom had never talked about him after my grandparents split up. His mom pretty much just forgot about him, or just never shared that he was out there with her new family. And I know that my dad, around the same time, had made contact with Susie, and he had written her 2 letters. I think he thought he had written her 2 letters, but she broke off contact because her mom had never told anybody about him, and so she didn't know how to explain why this guy from Pennsylvania was writing letters to her, and she was possibly engaged or seeing someone, and he didn't understand what was going on. So she broke off talking to my dad, writing to my dad at that time. And that's the last that we have seen, heard. Well, I've never seen or heard, but that's the last that my dad saw, heard anything from her again. It's weird because sometimes I feel like it's all a figment of my imagination. But then I look and my dad has pictures that prove that it's not, that he did have a sister, that he does have a sister who is 2 years younger than him. So then I know that it's not a figment of my imagination, but and we have tried looking for her in our way. I mean, I've gotten on the internet, but we have so little information that it's virtually nothing. We know where she was born. Don't know when she was born exactly. Know, an approximate timeline based on dates that were on pictures and, how old it says she was in the pictures. We know that she was born in Klamath Falls. My youngest brother actually took a trip out west this past Christmas time and went up the Oregon coast and spent some time in Klamath Falls, and tried to look for her, but we just don't have the knowledge of how to find somebody. And besides that, I think, like I said, that my grandmother had moved to Washington State at some point. There's one picture that says they were in Veerdale, Washington. So my brother came up empty. Again, I've looked online. I've tried to trace our family's history. I've used what we think is my dad's mom's name, but we're not even really sure about that. So again, we've drawn a lot of blanks and not really sure where to go next. This can change our lives. And I say our lives because I mean my whole family, especially my dad. I think it would help anchor him. He has felt so lonely. I know he has felt so lonely, like an orphan since my grandfather died, and without he doesn't feel like he has any roots. Even though he has this big family around him, he's looking for his sister. And I want him to have that. It's important to him, so it's important to me. If I could say anything to Susie or any of her family, I mean, I would be happy to find her family I'd be happy to find any of them. But if we were able to say anything, just that we've missed having you as part of our... Wait, we're supposed to talk directly to the person. So what I would say to you, Susie, is that we've missed having you as part of our lives. And I hope that you can find a place in your life for all of us. That's probably it for now. Trying to think if there's anything else. You know, and I think one of the questions that I answered originally was, why would I want this on TV? And I don't know that, for me, this isn't about being on TV. This is about finding somebody. And the reason that I want it on TV is because this is the only way that I know how to find them. This opportunity could mean so much. I really want to give this to my dad. I really want my dad to be able to meet his sister. I really want that for him. That's the reason I'm doing this, is to help my dad find his sister. It'll help him Man, I'm never at a loss for words. That's it. I just want to help find my dad's sister. That's it.